Hello everyone. We're going to talk about the cat function again. Now, this is cat function 3, super cat. He does something a little more complicated than we've seen before. He now multiplies and adds to the number that you put in. So it's going to be a little bit trickier to understand what his function is. But let me show you on a piece of paper here kind of the way it looks before we jump into uh, picking it out. So what's going to happen is you're going to put in a number, and then he's going to multiply by that number, and he's going to add some number. So like 2n plus 1. So if it was that, and sometimes we use n, sometimes we use x. I'm going to use x and y now for my input and output. So if my input with a 1, it would be 2 times 1 plus 1. So that would be 2 plus 1 is 3. So the output would be 3 in that case. 2, so it would be 2 times 2 plus 1, which would be 4 plus 1, which is 5. And so on, right? 2 times 3 plus 1. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And you can see that the pattern here is that we're repeatedly adding 2. And this would be 8, and plus 1 is 9. And see, each time you add 2. So if you see that the pattern is that it's growing by 2 each time, that is what he's multiplying by. Because if you repeatedly add the same thing, so 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 2 plus 2 is 2 times 2, isn't it? And 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 2 times 3. And 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 2 times 4. Right? So if you can figure out how much it's increasing each time by constant rate, that is going to be the multiplier. Okay? And that's this number. If you can figure out, let's see, where it goes to 0, or when the number is 0, right? So 2 times 0 plus 1 is 1. So that would tell you what he's adding by. Or you can figure out when it's a 1. So I know my multiplier from the difference between each one. And then I say, well, I need to get one more to make it work, right? So I get 2 times 1 is 2 plus what, right? You can say plus what to make it a 3. And then that's how you can figure out what's getting added on. All right, so let's take that theory over there and put it into practice with the cat function. So press spacebar to play. Alright, so pick a number between -5 and 5. Alright, let's try the negative numbers, why not? -1 gives me a 0. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go over my paper here and do a little doodling. So when I got a -1, I got a 0. Okay. Now let's go back to the cat function. Alright, what happened? So I don't know his number yet, so I'm going to say no. And a good strategy is to pick a number that's right next to it. So how about -2? And he got -2. Okay, so go over my piece of paper. And he got -2, he got -2, right? That's what he said? Yeah. Okay, so each time I go up, well, actually, he's going down here, so I need to kind of flip it around. So -2 was if that was the first point, and then he went up. So for 1x, so at -2 for x, he got -2, and then at -1, he got 0. So each time he's adding 2, isn't he? And then, so I predict that the next point, he's going to go up by 2 again. So if I put in a 0, I predict that it would be a 2. So my function would be that he's repeatedly adding 2, so it's going to be 2 times x. But 2 times a -2 would be -4. So what is he adding? So plus what to get a negative 2, right? So what is he adding? So it'd be a 2, a positive 2, right? So I guess it's 2x plus 2. And let's see if it works for the other one. So 2 times a negative 1 plus 2, do I get 0? Yep. So this is my prediction. I haven't actually tested it with the cat, so if I'm going to test it and see if it works, but let's just see if my function is written the right way. So 2 times 0 plus 2 would be 2. So that checks. So I think my function's right. If I get plugging in 0, I get a 2, then I know my function's right. So let's say no, although I kind of do know it now. I'm going to pick 0 and expect a 2. Yep. Alright, so I do know the function, so I'd say yes. And what function do I use? Example, 2x plus 1. So this is the way you have to enter it. You have to enter the x part first. So I'm going to say 2x plus 2